So Derby are looking to make some signings, and I'm hoping that today, I'm recording this on Thursday, so I'm hoping that in the next 24 hours, Corey Blackett-Taylor is confirmed as a signing for Derby County. I'm hoping that we can confirm that signing because there's been lots of talk and lots of pictures and stuff being released by his agent and management. So here's a player that we are looking to bring in. A bid has been accepted. I believe he had his medical and all that jazz yesterday. So that's going to be massively important. Obviously, having Blackett-Taylor come into the club is going to be a huge, huge deal. It gives us the opportunity to have Nathaniel Mendez-Lang and Corey Blackett-Taylor on each side. I think Blackett-Taylor has got the most goals and assists for a winger in the league this year. So that's going to be a really, really good signing. Hopefully he can hit the ground running. But as I said in the post-match reaction yesterday, we can't put too much pressure on him. We can't make him... We've got to make him feel welcome, and the team have got to do that as well. And I think he needs to be bled in slowly over the next few games. I think he'll be involved on Tuesday if it's announced either today or tomorrow. I think it'll be announced. And today being Saturday evening, it could come out this evening, it could come out tomorrow. But I'm hoping that he's about and involved for Tuesday's game. If you're enjoying all this Derby County and Formula 1 content that's come over the past week, make sure you hit that subscribe button and keep all up to date with all my content. Yeah, so Corey Blackett-Taylor is a player who could be absolutely amazing for the club. I made a video all about him. I'll tag that up on the screen right now. It'll be in one of the corners that you'll have to click if you want to go and watch that video. Next on the list is a striker, and there's been a lot of rumoured interest since the summer in Sheffield Wednesday's Michael Smith. He's a striker, I believe it's Michael Smith, it might be Matthew Smith, but Matthew, all the same. Paul Warne has recently had him at Rotherham. He was a big part of one of their promotion battles, so it could be massively important for Derby to pick him up, get him involved, have a second option for Collins, with Waghorn and Washington seemingly being out for ages, and I think they're still another month or so away. We probably need another striker to get in there. Warren doesn't seem to want to play John Jules as a number 9 with Collins. He seems to always play him behind or out wide, so it's one of those where it's a player that we need. I think we've needed a striker for ages. I can't really fault James Collins this season. I think he's been brilliant over the past month or so. Scored a massive amount of goals this season. I think he's on 17 for the season. Might be 16 or 17 for this season. But he's done really well so far. It wouldn't be a case of bringing in Michael Smith to replace Collins, but to bolster those attacking options that we have. Obviously, earlier on this week, we heard that Tyrese John Jules has extended his loan deal from Arsenal till the end of the season. I'm happy that we've got that deal over the line, because I think it's an extra body in the forward line, but it's difficult to discuss that one because we've not really seen a lot of him yet. He's scored a couple of goals, but we seem to be being really cautious with it. And to be fair, I sometimes think that he's being cautious on the pitch. So he's got a long way to go this season, but we've got 20 odd games left. So he could be massive in this second half of the season, and I do personally think that he'll come good. And then a midfield signing that I'm going to talk about the potential of anyway is Ollie Orblaster from Sheffield United. Spoke about him in yesterday's post-match reaction, but I don't know too much about him. I believe he was at Port Vale earlier this season and went back to Sheffield United earlier on in this window. I believe he's injured at the moment, but is due to be back in the next couple of weeks. And if we were to get him in, he could be a good body to have, especially if he's a creative midfielder. I think that's something that the team's been missing massively, is that creative output in midfield. Obviously, we've been linked with the likes of Charlie Savage as well, who I think could be another good player to bring in. I made a video about him. I'll link that in the top corner for you to look at if you want to. But yeah, so Ollie Orblaster, I think we need bodies in midfield because the major players we've got is Bird and Horahan, and obviously there's Tomo, there's Fauna, Smith and Sibley. Smith is on his way back from injury. Forner was ill for the game yesterday. Not sure how long that's going to keep him out of play for. Because obviously, if you remember, a few years ago, Chris Martin had a long time out with illness. You've not really got any proper creative midfielders. Like Horahan likes to sit deep and dictate the game now. That's sort of Bird's role as well now. So it's difficult because I think we need bodies in the midfield. I just think we need a proper creator in midfield, or someone who can actually just sit in that hole, because we don't seem to have anyone who does it at the minute. But obviously there's a long way to go this season. There's a long way to go in this transfer window. And we're on the 20th as I'm recording this. We've probably got 10, 11 days. And we need a couple more bodies. I think it's going to be massive to get Ryan Niambi back later on and push Kane Wilson into a more attacking role. Obviously, there's a few positions where I think we still need to add. I think, obviously, the creative midfield role is massive. I think we do need a proper 10. I'd love to bring in the likes of Charlie Savage or Ollie Orblaster, but I believe Paul Warner shut down the Charlie Savage link, although he likes to play his cards close to his chest, so I'm not surprised about that. Obviously, Corey Blackett-Taylor is due to come in any time now, if he hasn't been announced before this video comes out. So keep your eyes peeled on Derby's Twitter for that, because that's going to be a massive signing, I think. But we still need that number 9, which could be Michael Smith. There's loads of options out. Like Charlton have just brought in Freddie Ladapo, who I think, I knew he wouldn't come here because I believe him and Warren have a bit of a turbulent past from their time at Rotherham, but he's a good player. You've got, you saw earlier in the year, Chris Martin went to Bristol Rovers and he's banging them in for fun. He scored again yesterday. So we need to go and get a proper striker, another striker to join in with James Collins to offer some extra support off the bench. But I also think we need a striker that can stretch the game. We don't seem to have them, and obviously we've got wingers that can do that, but we need a striker that can, and at the moment we don't have that. So there's a long way to go in this window, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get some more bodies in the club, get a midfielder in, make sure Blackett-Taylor is signed and sealed, which at this point, at 5:30 on Saturday afternoon, I think he is basically done. So it's going to be a big couple of weeks, in my opinion. There's a lot that Derby need to do, and the main parts of that is getting a number 9 to support James Collins, especially with Wycombe and Washington out. Because if Wycombe and Washington are out for another 2-3 weeks each, then you've then got another 2-3 weeks before they're fit enough to play, because you've got to give them 20 minutes, 45, 60, 90. Like, it's just a difficult situation. But Paul Warne will obviously know what he's looking for, and based on the way we play, I think Michael Smith is an excellent signing. Ollie Arblaster in that midfield role could be really good. The Telegraph seem to be linking him quite a lot and talking about him quite a lot, so that is a potential move which could be in the offing. Charlie Savage obviously been shut down after the previous game, but we'll see what happens with that, because we know Paul Warne likes to play his cards close to his chest. So yeah, let me know where you think Derby need to improve their squad heading into the end of this season, and make sure you hit that like button, you comment and you subscribe to keep up to date with all of my latest content. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Be sure to go and find me on TikTok, pictured here, and Twitter, pictured here. These are the places where I'll keep you all up to date with all my upcoming videos and my thoughts and feelings around the Formula 1 and football weekend.